Hi guys, Andy here. Today I'm going to talk to you about how to negotiate a field full of cows and not get intimidated by them. Quite a few people are worried, and they've seen stories where unfortunately members of the public have been trampled to death by a herd of cows. It's a very rare occurrence, but obviously it does happen. So ultimately people ask themselves the question, should I be scared of cows? I think the honest answer is no, you don't need to be scared of them, but you do need to be aware of them. A cow is a big bulky animal and obviously can cause you considerable damage if it for whatever reason decides to trample you or barge into you or whatever. So these are tips to avoid that from happening in the first place. The number one tip is just to remain calm. Cows are quite sensitive creatures, and they can pick up on the way you behave. So if you're acting all agitated, they may well get agitated too. So the simple thing is just to remain calm. Linked to that is do not make any sudden movements. They are quite skittish, so if you move towards them quickly or wave your arms or do anything, they can suddenly turn on their heels or jump away or whatever. They usually jump away from you, but of course if you're with somebody else, they might actually end up jumping towards that other person. So just be aware that they are very skittish and they can move quite quickly despite their bulk. I always, whenever I'm walking around, I'm about to enter a field full of cows, I just have a quick bit of observation of them before I actually enter the field, just to see what they're up to. Every now and again, and it is incredibly rare, I've only ever seen it once in my life, but you can get a herd that's gone into a bit of hysteria. It's usually caused by the fact that they're getting harassed by flies or other insects or things that just cause them to go a little bit mad. Or you get some juvenile young cows, should we say, that can suddenly go off and start doing daft things. There's usually no menace involved in it, but they literally are acting very oddly and could wipe you out in the consequences of them having a bit of fun. I think most of us have seen videos on television programs, etc., where the farmer turns his cows out for the first time in the spring, with them after them being locked up in the barns all winter, and you see how mad the cows go. They go running and jumping and full of the joys of spring to get outside. Obviously, if you stand in their way when they're doing that, they could accidentally knock into you and hurt you. So you just got to be sensible. But most of the time, if you enter a field full of cows, they'll either pay you no attention whatsoever and just carry on doing what they're doing, or occasionally they will look up and think, what's that person doing? And sometimes if you stand still, they will come wandering over to you. They're quite inquisitive. Just be yourself. Just walk through the cows. Don't make any sudden movements. Don't shout, holler and whatever, but I sometimes talk to them. Well, it might sound a bit mad, but I just do, and I'll talk and I'll walk through them, and they'll look at you and, oh yeah. Once they realise you haven't got any food, they soon lose interest in you and take no notice. Things are slightly different if you've got a dog. The problem with a dog is that cows see a dog as being a predatory animal. Dogs, in theory, attack cows. So cows are always wary of dogs. And the problem is if a cow has got a calf, that cow is very, very, very protective of its calf. And so as soon as it sees a predatory animal, it will do anything in its power to protect the calf. Most of the time it will be to move away, but sometimes they will turn and they will actually go on the attack. if that happens to you and you're walking your dog through a field, because obviously the number one rule generally is you always keep your dog under control on a lead anywhere near any form of livestock, because if you do let your dog roam free in amongst livestock, you run the risk your dog gets excited. It's natural instinct to chase the animal, and unfortunately more often than not the animal might be injured in the process, or abort its lamb or its calf or something like that. And of course that's a massive financial burden on the farmer, so the farmer is not going to be happy. And in the UK, I don't know about anywhere else in the world, but in the UK a farmer has the right, should he so wish, to shoot your dog if it is worrying his livestock. So you need to be aware of that. But anyway, so the general written rule is that you keep your dog on a lead. But obviously if the cows do decide to turn on your dog, because they won't turn on you, they'll turn on your dog, that is the point. If they're ganging up and getting very close to you, that's the point to let your dog off the lead, because ultimately they're going to attack your dog. They're not going to attack you. Unfortunately, the few cases where people have been trampled to death by cows is because they've tried to protect their dog. They've held on to it and they've tried to protect it from the cows. And if you've got a herd of 10, 20, 30 cows, you're not going to beat them. So you need to let go of your dog. The chances are the dog will easily be able to outrun the cows once it's realised that it's heavily outgunned, shall we say. So it'll probably escape and make its own way to freedom. Also, when you let go of the dog, the cows will concentrate on the dog and it gives you the chance to escape. So it's incredibly rare for that to happen, and it will 99% certain that will only ever happen if you've got a dog. It won't happen if you're out on your own, so long as you do not come between a cow and its calf. Natural instinct, really. You wouldn't sort of expect a mother of a newborn baby to allow you to pick it up and cart it off with it. She's going to protect it, isn't she? So yeah, any animal's going to protect its young. So just use your common sense. Don't get between the cow and the calf and you'll be fine. Often you see signs on fields saying bull in the field. 9 times out of 10 it isn't entirely true, but sometimes it is. Most bulls are actually gentle souls, not interested in human beings whatsoever. A few breeds are a little bit more aggressive, shall we say, but generally speaking they're not interested in us as humans. Obviously, once again, common sense comes into it. You do not want to get between a bull and one of its cows when it's exercising its conjugal rights, because when the cow's in heat, that's the bull's sole focus of attention, is serving his cows. So most of the time farmer only puts the bull in the field when the cows are actually on or in heat, but sometimes they will be in once the cows have the young and the cows are not in heat. The bull won't be actually interested in doing anything because he knows there's no point. The cows won't allow him to serve them, and he'll be as calm as anything. Obviously when the cows are on heat, he smells it, he senses it, and his testosterone levels are through the roof, and so he's quite skittish. So you can usually spot when that's going to happen, because the bull will be jumping on the back of cows every 2-3 minutes. So say, allow him to do his business, don't get in the way, and it shouldn't be an issue for you. Sometimes a farmer has 2 or 3 bulls if he's got a huge flock or different species of cows, cattle. They quite often will be kept together when the cows are not in season. They should get on quite fine. It's only when the cows become into season that the bulls may need to fight amongst themselves to exert their dominance. Once again, steer clear, shouldn't be an issue, unlikely to ever come across it, but it does happen. Anyway, I hope all this hasn't put you off, because you shouldn't be scared of cows. Yes, common sense, they can hurt you, but so can, I don't know, getting stung by a wasp. Does that stop you going out for a walk? No, of course it doesn't. So, you know, just use a bit of common sense. And anyway, before I leave you, I'll show you a little clip what happened to me when I was out on a walk and I stopped for a sandwich, just to show you how inquisitive cows are. I hope you've enjoyed this and found this informative, and I'll see you again next time. Thanks now, bye. Got some friends come to see what I'm having for my dinner. Don't know if you can see them. Hello. I don't think you can eat my sandwiches, you know, mate. I don't. Hey? Do you like coffee, do you? Do you like coffee? I don't think you can. Hey? You want coffee? It's just not really something cows tend to drink. No. Now, don't get too close, boys and girls, because this is where sometimes where you can have an issue with animals. Now, they're just inquisitive. They want to say hello, don't you? But if they get boisterous, they could accidentally either tip over stuff or hurt you. But they've got no malicious intent in them. They're just inquisitive, aren't you? But I'm afraid I haven't really got any feed. No. Careful, boys, careful. No, you can't have my sandwiches, mister. No, you can't. Now. Come on. That's enough. That's enough. We're just preparing to get up and run away. Because we are now surrounded by cows. All very, very, very inquisitive. But no, there's a good chap. That's it, no more. You can't eat my sandwiches, it's my sandwich. Uh-oh. Yes. I don't particularly want to get slobbered either, if I'm honest with you. No. What do you know, right? You're very inquisitive. I know. I don't want to keep your distance. There's a good chap. And you leave my jumper alone. I don't know.